Perfect. So we're going to kick it off with a presentation. Then we're going to jump into presenting you to this new academy that we've just launched. We're then going to jump into a couple of speed networking sessions so that you can get to meet each other. And then we're going to have a merch giveaway and announce the pre-launch winners, which we'll talk about towards the end. And we'll wrap up with a little surprise at the very end of that. For those of you who've joined, thanks so much for joining. And we're excited to be able to help you. First of all, who are we? So today we have myself and Kaio here from the WeAreNoCode team. I'm the co-founder and CEO at WeAreNoCode. My name is Christian Peverelli. Spent the past 15 years building companies, startups more specifically, online businesses. I have both sold companies and failed companies. I've also been the director of a startup accelerator in Los Angeles, where we've trained more than 100 founders who have gone on to raise more than $50 million in funding post-program. So we were partnered with Google. We'd put people on stage after a 6-week program and help them raise capital. So I'm really the 0 to 1 million guy, essentially helping people build their businesses from scratch. And then we have also Kaio Calderari. Now, Kaio is Brazilian. He's connecting today from São Paulo, and he is our chief no-code officer. He has more than 15 years experience at building digital products, marketplaces, all sorts of different products. And he specialized in UI, UX, so he's a designer, but he became a full stack developer through the power of these amazing no-code tools. And today he became the chief no-code officer at WeAreNoCode. So that's just a transformation in and of itself. So thanks so much, Kaio, for joining me as well today. And if you have any questions, by the way, yeah, feel free to just put them inside the chat. Kaio is going to be moderating the chat today, so he's going to help me answer some of the questions. And yeah, since you are here, just by being here, without doing anything else, you have a chance to win either free t-shirts like the one that I'm wearing right now, WeAreNoCode t-shirts with our new branding, or free 1-month access to our community learning platform, which is the Academy. So let's start off with a short and brief description of what WeAreNoCode actually is. So WeAreNoCode is an online institute for non-technical entrepreneurs. So what does that mean? It's essentially a school for people to learn how to build online businesses from scratch. We realized that essentially the modern needs of entrepreneurs are not being met by entrepreneurship programs, and we're here to solve that big problem because we believe that the next generation of entrepreneurs are going to be non-technical, yet we currently live in a world where you literally have to build a website, app, regardless of what business you're in, right? Whether you're selling software or you're actually selling paper, you're going to need to build digital products, launch digitally. And so our mission at WeAreNoCode is to democratize entrepreneurship for non-technical founders. So we create essentially these educational programs for modern entrepreneurs. And we have really 3 core values that have helped us get to where we are today, and that we implement within each one of our educational programs. We are action-oriented, we are skill-based, and we are community-driven. So let me kind of bring you through each one of those, because people use these big words oftentimes, and I find them a bit like, okay, yeah, but really, like, what are you actually doing? You know, so action-oriented. Theory is great, but entrepreneurship is learned through taking action, right? And so we teach theoretical concepts. We want people to understand the concepts, but then we always break things down into actionable steps that people can take, because that's really what's missing in entrepreneurship. Lots of people sort of, a lot of fluff out there, and it can be very frustrating. So we connect that theory with real life execution. The second one is skill-based. Everyone has that experience where, you know, people go to university, they spend 4 years learning all these different things. They have a degree in marketing, and then they leave, and guess what? In the real world, they don't know how to run Facebook ads. They don't know how to do SEO. They don't know how to do influencer marketing. There's just this massive gap between the actual skills required to execute in a specific area and what is being taught in the current education system. So that's one of the big things that we address within that. So essentially, there's just too much fluff, and people are sick of it. And in parallel, we see that most companies and most roles in general require skills, right? Like Google doesn't care if you went even to high school if you know how to code, for example. So we know that the future of the workforce is very skill driven. And so for us, it's very important to teach people hard skills that they can use in every area of their life. And the final one is basically community driven. Some of our best memories and some of the great things in education are by learning with other people, support and accountability that happens through learning with other people. And so we know that community is really important to help people to learn in the best possible way. So that's essentially the 3 different values that we use within each one of our programs. And the main goal that we have for people is to, as I mentioned earlier, is to build startups, to build companies, right? So there are 3 main things that we do. We teach them how to build apps and websites without hiring programmers or without being technical. You don't need a computer science degree. And we do that by teaching them these really powerful no-code tools. Then we help them learn startup methodology. So we teach them how to launch their business without any prior experience or without being, a tech wizard, simply because a lot of people these days, especially with all the layoffs, and they're looking to be a little bit more self-reliant. And we see that as a huge and increasing trend within the industry in general. So, we are really focused on teaching people step-by-step methodologies that they can implement. And of course, our goal is to get people from idea to first paying customers. That's what we call product market fit. And then from there, we can essentially scale out our business. We can choose to raise money. We can join an accelerator program, or we can choose to simply bootstrap, keep 100% of the company and grow it out natively ourselves. So over the past 2.5 years that we've been in existence, we kicked it off with the NoCode Startup, which is our flagship program at WeAreNoCode. It's a no-code accelerator, which is hands-on, and we've trained more than 450 founders from 23 different countries. So what kind of people do we train? We train people who are non-technical. So when I mean non-technical, like you could be a program manager or a product manager and still not be technical. So what we really mean is like you don't know how to code. We also train first-time entrepreneurs and aspiring entrepreneurs, or people who are very experienced entrepreneurs. They simply just haven't really launched businesses in the digital realm before. So they might have run companies in the more traditional way, but they need to acquire all these new sets of skills to be able to execute. And thankfully, we've been trusted by many organizations and have trusted by the founders that are within them. So we've worked with UCLA, USC. We've also worked with many accelerator programs because it seems like all of us have a similar problem when it comes to early stage entrepreneurship, is that people are lacking the experience, they're lacking the technical know-how, and they end up just wasting a lot of time and spending a lot of money on developers. So we've trained people like Gavin, for example. He came to us, he had a t-shirt printing business. He was looking to create something that was a little bit more scalable. And he built a platform called Seps.io in 8 weeks and started generating revenue from that. So that's the perfect example of someone who's running a small, medium business, looking to digitalize, and transformed his sort of more traditional business into a digital business, which is Seps.io. We also trained Heidi. So Heidi essentially came to us. She had an idea. She had no experience, no technical skills. She was able to build her MVP in 8 weeks with us. So MVP is a first app or first product. Minimum viable product is also what it stands for, and was able to scale to $25,000 in monthly recurring revenue. Before I introduced her to the managing director at Techstars, she got in and she raised $680,000 from that experience. And now she's off for the races. She's raising her next round. She has $10 million of potential revenue in her pipeline. And yeah, you can check it out. It's called Aware Health. So she helps people with musculoskeletal care. This is the perfect example of someone who just kind of has an idea and wants to start executing and just doesn't have the technical know-how or doesn't have that experience or has tried it and has failed before. And finally, the last one is Mike. We have plenty of people. I'm just trying to take 3 very different examples. So Mike came to us. He wanted to go back to school to learn computer science because he had an idea for an app. And after having a short conversation with him, I told him, hey, that might just be a longer road for you. You could just learn no code and build out a first app and then put it in the market. He was actually able to do 2 different things. On one end, he built his app and got in the app store and was super stoked for his company called Liquidela. And on top of that, he was able to scale his agency to $40,000 in monthly recurring revenue. So really exciting transformations. And we see this at the very beginning of the future of entrepreneurship. Like, this is a movement that is just going to continue to accelerate over time. So that is our past. That is who we are. That is the flagship program we've had until now. But very recently, some of you might already know this, we rebranded. And the reason why we rebranded is because we are stepping into the second stage of transforming the future of education, and that is through our new academy. So the rebrand was a stressful but exciting experience. Kaio is actually the person who did the rebrand for our logo and all these different elements. So round of applause for him. And we rebranded so that we could launch a fresh new platform called the WeAreNoCode Academy. And that's because our core program is not accessible for everyone financially, and some people just don't have the time. And that's because we work with founders directly in that program. So we decided to create a self-learning platform. So it's a community learning platform for people to get started on their own and to learn how to launch their startups. So in this platform, people can learn how to launch their business ideas from scratch. And what we actually do is that we teach these individuals the best of entrepreneurship and the best of no-code. So as part of the platform, you get access to multiple courses in one unique learning environment. And you also get all these different features that you would get in a community platform so that you can interact with others. And so there's much more to the platform than just courses, but it's a place where you can have access not only to learn how to build things with no code, but also how to come up with great ideas, test and validate those ideas, and launch your business and get first paying customers. So it's really a do-it-yourself platform. It includes entrepreneurship courses that are step-by-step, no-code courses and tutorials teaching you our favorite no-code tools, live learning sessions where you'll be able to learn from myself, Kaio, and other members around topics anywhere in the entrepreneurship and no-code space. We have networking events that take place monthly. We also have a founder community there, and we have a tool directory where you're going to be able to search the different tools that you're interested in building with and understand them a little bit better. We have templates and frameworks, and we have $5,000 worth of perks in that platform. So it's basically a platform that we've just released, and it's to be able to train a much larger number of people because we are less hands-on. But that basically means that this platform is perfect for people who are first-time entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs, who are non-technical, people who maybe have tried before but went through trial and error and failed. It's great for people who are looking to learn these powerful new no-code skills, building apps and websites. And it's great to save a lot of money along the way within a tight community of other founders. So yeah, this is the platform. If you're interested in joining that platform, our early bird pricing just came out, and you can join for only $49 a month. If you choose to go for the annual plan, it's $29 a month. So it's really a very cheap ticket for the amount of value. We're going to be continuing to release courses within this platform, release new perks, bring new members and new experts to be able to teach you in the live learning events. And obviously, the reason why we have these networking events is to be able to bring people like in person to these events, and then have them be able to interact directly through the platform through direct messaging and to start sharing skills. We've basically realized that, you know, every learner can also be a teacher. And we've taught people from every different area of expertise, and there's a lot of value that people can get from just learning with each other. So excellent. If you are ready to become a self-reliant founder of the future, and I highly recommend that you join this new community and you start learning the skills of tomorrow today.